a thing which you touched on was fear, and we are seeing a lot of fear happen right now with the crashes of the stock market, and the swings and ups and downs and some crazy reactions, and essentially people being very reactive. And I think it all comes from this place of fear, this fear that, okay, how is this change going to affect us as an economy, affect, or rather more as an individual level as well. How can we be more resilient to it?
Sure. Like, that's a great question. I think a lot of the times when we talk about resilience, it's framed up in a way of just being kind of tough and just to power through things. And again, that's not how people are built. You get to a certain point, you're wound so tight that it's really terrible in terms of consequences. And so you think about resilience, especially in the face of uncertainty. I mean, the markets, you look at even this week, right? What it actually comes down to, there's always going to be stuff out of our control. I mean, you hear the old adage around the 85% of the things that's out of our control you shouldn't worry about, and 15% then you can still manage, and all of this stuff. But it's easy to say these words. To tell someone just don't worry about it doesn't actually solve anything. Right? I mean, you think about the stuff that we get stressed about, everything from decision making to people to finance to hobbies, etc., etc. And oftentimes we try to just address this in like a band-aid solution. Let me go on a vacation. Let me do something else, and let me go have to do something fun. But I come back and the problem is still there, and it may have even compounded. And so I think when it comes to resilience, it's actually taking some very fundamental steps to provide as much assurance and certainty to people around you as possible. I mean, look, the most basic thing sometimes, for example, what is the worst case scenario? And really breaking it down just to allow people to realize, okay, so even the worst case scenario, manageable, right? And then it kind of builds from there, right? I mean, let's get all the facts, let's get all the data. I mean, don't react on one piece of news, right? And it's, you see, great innovators and great leaders, they do this very well intrinsically. They kind of know how to stay calm under pressure. And it's, I know it's like that whole example around a duck on water. Right? You're very calm on the surface, but you're thinking, you're doing a lot of things under the surface. And so it's really that, right? Like, how do we actually put the steps in place to allow our workplace and our people around us feel safe? Provide as much certainty and clarity as we possibly can.